Okay, Ian. So we're back at it on the Subaru, and what's the plan for today?
Finish putting that in and try and finish the power steering.
By finish putting this in, we mean do this.
They broke out on both sides.
On this side. Okay, so we're gonna get the rack finished. I gotta finish my bracket that Ian so graciously broke for me, though I have to re-weld it together.
I stepped on it. Your weld should not have broke just from stepping on it. That was quality control, is what I was doing.
It was tacked together. Okay, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna get the pump mounted.
Rib nut all of the grounds properly.
He's gonna rib nut stuff. I'm gonna do the pump, and then after we get the pump mounted and the ground's done,
put the ECU in, mount it to the floor.
Mount it to the floor. But I was getting to like the power steering lines because we need to build those too.
Yeah.
So once we get the rack fixed and the pump mounted in its permanent place, I think we'll actually have to go through and trim this little skirt off.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I can fix some stuff.
And then yeah, we'll go from there. So
once we find the
once we find everything that we have lost.
Well, it's like somebody threw a hand grenade in the tools.
Yeah. Me and Ian work a lot alike in the shop. We just kind of use the tools and then set them down and then forget where we set them and
set them behind us, forget they're behind us, and then wander around.
Yeah, but okay, so we're gonna get to it. All right, there it is. Look at that. May not be the prettiest, and don't mind that, but I'll weld it out. Let her cool off. What do we got going on in here, Ian? Okay, in the short amount of time that I was doing, I'm just going with off on a limb here. It looks like he's fixing his fuel pump wiring. Not sure though. Fuel pump wiring?
Yeah. Making a better ground.
Making better grounds. Hopefully making a better car. Then you said you need the wire, the extension cord. I mean, there is another extension cord.
Where? I will retrieve it.
There's a green one right there. Okay. Like a big long one. And then I think so he's going to do that. He's going to be in there. So I think I might just cut my little box that you can kind of see I drew on there. So we can get to that nut. Cut that section out. And then move on. Okay, so pumps mounted somewhat. It's kind of floppy because I only have 3 soap tappers and I have rib nuts on the way for it. And then I come over to see what Ian's doing, and the idiot boy stuck one piece of his new sound deadening down with this big ass fucking wrinkle in it.
Bro, I just wanted to try it. I couldn't help myself. I'm back to this now. It's okay. We got a rib nut in here. I just got to tighten that down, and then I'm just routing all the wiring through the dash up to there, and then the vacuum line can go out, kind of where the engine harness comes out.
Yeah, I was thinking either there or that other hole there.
Yeah, that's where I'm running the battery through right now, and I just put a bunch of that tape on it so that way it didn't rub through.
And the other thing we can do is take vacuum line and cut it. Just cut a slice in it, and then stick it around there. It's not ideal, but it does work.
Mint. I would probably mount these up in this area or put rib nuts in or something.
Yeah, or you can mount them on the floor by the ECU.
Cool. Actually, this is a pretty good spot for them.
Yeah. And then we'll have to build a cover to go over the ECU so that not everyone's walking on it, or just use the factory Subaru one, I guess, huh?
I think the factory Subaru.
If it'll fit.
It should.
Yeah. Okay. Now that I have the power steering pump mounted, I have to pull it back out. So I can cut this little skirt off here, so that the lines will work better, because as of right now the lines both point towards that. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna do next. Okay, Ian, how's it going now?
Good.
How are we doing?
Almost got the power steering done.
Thanks to
you.
Absolutely nothing of him.
My supervision helps.
Yeah, he came in here, pushed me out of the way so he can mount his oil filter for his engine that is not in good shape.
Yeah. Got check the oil on it.
Yeah, got check the oil.
How do I check the oil levels? This plug here.
This plug here. I have to flip the engine over and check the oil. It's an inconvenient process.
I check it in my intake.
But okay, so now what the fuck? All right, so we got to pull this fitting off here, and replace it with this one because our the PTFE line won't fit on the return for the pump. So we're just gonna go with a regular AN line and a hose clamp and.
So on the low pressure side should be good.
Hope for the best, you know. And so I was hoping that Ian would be so gracious enough to pull the rack out for me because
I was busy mounting oil,
putting stuff in my way. I have a 3/8. Is that good enough?
Where'd the 14 go? Hands beat this shit.
Oh, it's right there on the ground.
Yeah,
underneath the rack.
It now.
That's a 3/8.
Oh my fucking god, dude! I'm gonna just kill myself now.
It's right there.
Oh my god! Oh my god! The other half comes off first. I just had this come loose one time, so it's just like extra security, really. Because we have like 3 wrenches around here.
No, we have like 12 wrenches around here. None of them are the right size.
They're all like 7/8 or something.
Yeah.
Why is there a socket on that one?
Oh, because that's where the 14 went.
Good news. You can stay in.
It's also, I don't know if that's a 14. I found it in the bucket in the wheel cap for the K30.
Kind of like feeling.
Okay, so we got the power steering pump mounted up. Got our lines ran. It's all snazzy. Ian's happy, and that's what matters. If you look in here, through all the chaos and disaster, she's sturdy.
I gotta tighten some of these lines.
I gotta plug that in. Yeah, everything on the pump side, the hose clamps are tightened up, but everything else is just hand tight. Okay.
Thumbnail. Safety glasses.
Okay, Ian, what do we got going on here before we
got the switch wired up to the pump. Little
So-
steering wheel on it.
Yeah, we got the pump mounted, and then Ian wanted to use the switch to turn the pump on, so we did some nice janky wiring to get the pump set up. As you see, here's our main power into these distribution blocks. Here's the main power for the switch. There's a ground for the switch, and then our out for the switch is right here, just kind of stuck in there. And then we got this over here. So let's see what happens.
Nothing.
Nothing happens. Is the ground actually grounded?
Which one?
This proportioning block ground.
It should be. Yeah, it goes up right to there.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Oh, turn off. That was a lot of fuel. That was so much gas. We know
The fuel pump works.
Oh boy, does it.
Okay, ready? Okay. Switch that. We'll pull this pin off and go back to the plug. Okay, Ian, so what do we think the problem was?
The connector was not on correctly.
Yeah, Ian bought these fancy plugs off of the Amazon. And they can plug in both directions. Woo! Woo! Very anticlimactic, really. Okay, I'm going to hook the jumper cables back up. Because we might not have enough power. Okay. There we go.
Yeah, I did it.
I didn't get the jumper cables hooked back up.
Oh, what the fuck?
What?
That sounds a little dry.
Yeah.
That is weird. It only works off certain ones.
Okay, Ian. What's going on?
The pump got damaged at some point, so we'll probably have to go get a new pump. But other than that, it sounds like everything's working. So it's like
It's hard to tell if the steering is actually being assisted because it's pretty light as it is, and someone's chonker boy tires kind of ate the fender, so we can't turn it lock to lock.
true.
But yeah, so we got it all in. It's got some leaks. We probably should figure out why it's leaking. But let's see if you can see right there's a dent. And then same with over there. And I think that's hitting the pump impeller. And so it works. We don't have any leaks over there. That's where I thought we were going to have a leak.
Yeah, same.
And it looks like the only leak we have is this fitting here. So easy enough to get to. The rack's kind of really a pain in the ass to get access to.
I wonder if any other place has a pump in town.
Okay, so Ian is currently working on mounting his fancy master cylinder, his Wilwood master cylinder.
For the clutch, so it'll actually engage all the way.
Yeah, he just got done putting his switch in for the power steering pump. Pump sounds terrible, but it does work. And then I'm going to be getting ready to just weld in my plate wherever I put it right here. This fancy little plate. I'm going to put it in somehow. I don't remember how it goes in there. Oh, it goes this way. Like so. To help reinforce that mount. We'll probably have to put one on the back side too. This one's way sturdier, and it should be fine with just one, but that one's just real floppy. So we're going to weld this in place and then probably build another one and hope for the best. Okay, we got that all boxed in, all looking good. We got the master cylinder mounted up, and Ian's down here in a real seductive location.
Help me.
Getting the clip put together.
Solid.
How's that? Is that like right where it needed to be?
Almost. I'd adjust it like a little bit, but
A little out.
yeah, but it fits pretty damn good.
So hopefully we'll be able to like push the clutch all the way in and have it fully disengage.
Should be able to. This one was 3/4 board, so like 5/8, and it's a
Little longer.
little bit longer. And it didn't need much more to disengage. It was,
And it could have been just your master was worn out. Would have might have been what the issue was. And the other thing to remember on this is it needs to be below the cowl. And you want to be able to take the cap off. All right, so we're on to our next project now, Ian.
All right, we're actually making mounts for the battery, so it can sit right here. We got these bad boys all ready to go.
So how much room do we actually have?
Just enough.
So the battery's gonna basically sit on these?
They might have to.
Okay.
But there's already shit right here.
Yeah. So I got some washers that I bent at a 90-degree angle, and Ian's incapable of welding or wanting to
I'll
weld.
do it.
You want to weld it?
I'll do it.
Okay, Ian's gonna weld it.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes.
It's me.
Ian. Okay, so I'm gonna let Ian go loose on his car, and I'd put it on all 4 of the red stands, so it's the same height. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get the motor out and put it together with the right parts that we need, so that we can fit the transmission in and see if the hole that we cut is gonna be big enough. I sure hope it is, because we don't really have much more to cut after that one. And so, yeah, I'm just going to let Ian go to town on that because it's Ian's car. We're going to set the GoPro up somewhere to just watch everything that he does, so we make sure he doesn't steal anything because he's a little thief. But, yeah, and then I'm going to wander because it's my birthday and I don't feel like helping him that much. Okay. All right, bro.
We're still,
what's the good news?
We took about a degree of angle out, roughly, but it's still hitting, like, right up and over here and right here, right down there, so.
Come around to the other side. We got the engine in. Some people may notice that it's definitely not, like, straight in the engine bay. But that's okay, I guess. I don't know that there's anything we can do to change that. Okay, so here's an idea. Just a thought here. What if we cut this side out? All right, so we cut, right here where that bolt's hitting, and then move the transmission this way to try and kind of straighten everything out.
That probably work.
And then we'll gain more clearance on the other side, because it looks like we have some room around the top. Not really, but... Okay, so Ian's out here cleaning his valve covers. We got our engine angle down to like a degree and a half or two. And so that's good to go. We just got to get a trans mount built. And then we'll be ready to go on that. And just, you know, getting after it. Come in here, take a look. So the trans is about an inch higher than it was, and we got it scooted over that way just a smidge. Need a little bit more massaging up there on the top, but should be good. I think we're gonna wrap her up here, and so the next video we'll get the trans mount done, and yeah, all the rest of the little odds and ends, and we're getting there though. She's coming right along. So yeah, guys, remember to like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you want to see more of Ian's crazy stuff he's got going on. And yeah, catch you on the next time.